Still one round one landing spot that really entices me here, and it's Emeka Egbuka.
There you go.
So I've been in love with his game for a while now. He was one of my top options going into last year's draft. And now he is projected based on this mock to go round one. That part I'm pretty confident in. I think he's a round one pick. To the Steelers, I actually like, and here's why. I had to make sure the truthers aren't around me. I don't think George Pickens is that good.
Oh.
I don't think he's that good.
No.
Here's the thing. You see a lot of balls that hit the ground when they're thrown to George Pickens, and there's a common factor in a lot of them. He is draped in coverage. They're all boundary passes that are granted, he's an explosive playmaker. But maybe he's a little bit closer to Jameson Williams than anything else in the fact that he's a big playmaker. Like, Egbuka is a sound receiver. He's going to be creating separation. He's going to be a quarterback's best friend because they can anticipate with him. George Pickens, I love the guy, but he's a wild card. Like, there's times he's not even running routes seriously, and you look at his route tree, and it's very limited. He's incredible on the slant. Like, that's something he's incredible at. Outside of that, it's a lot of boundary stuff where he's relying on contested catches, deep targets. And that's all fine and dandy. But when push comes to shove and you have a true route runner, like let's say we inserted Ladd McConkey into the Steelers offense this year. Who do you think finishes the season with more targets?
Oh, easily Ladd McConkey.
And that's where I'm not, I'm not comping him to Ladd McConkey in this sense, but that's kind of where I'm getting at, where somebody who could be like a safety blanket for this team. And granted, they really tried with Roman Wilson. I think it's very clear based on year one. And if they do go this route, they're not confident in Roman Wilson taking that leap. That happens in the NFL all the time. It's better for the Steelers just to, forego the sunk cost. But Egbuka, I think, turns into the target leader in this offense, and that really entices me.
Yeah, George Pickens' year to break out, for lack of a better term. Well, I will say breakout because he's never finished higher than 33rd in fantasy points per game, and we have 3 full seasons of that we can look at as a body of work. He had just 2 more targets than he did last year, 108 targets. Now, he did finish 16th in target share amongst wide receivers, number 8 in air yard share, but that's still not good enough for what is in air quotes an alpha wide receiver, because we know that the Steelers tried to add to their wide receiver room by trading for Brandon Ayuk. And we said it, we were talking about this in the fantasy, like a bunch of fantasy analysts were saying it. We were saying it. If that happens, obviously that's not good for George Pickens, especially in Dynasty. And what do you think the Steelers are going to do in the offseason? They're going to look to upgrade the offense. They're going to look to upgrade the wide receiver position because it wasn't good enough. So this pick makes all the sense in the world for them. And I will just say this. I think there's a chance that Egbuka would out-target George Pickens next year. I mean, it might be a long shot, but it's
I'll bet on it.
Yeah, I mean, if you get plus odds at DraftKings or whatever, depending on the odds, I think that might be a good bet because I get it. And we aren't sure who the quarterback is going to be. I would assume that there would be some interest in them bringing back Russell Wilson or maybe Justin Fields, especially if it's Justin Fields. Like, man, I saw Justin Fields throw a lot of short passes to DJ Moore that DJ Moore just made him look really good on. So I agree. I think it's a little bit, we have a lot of uncertainty there with quarterback, but in terms of target competition, I don't think it's as bad as it looks on paper with George Pickens being there.